Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of IndieX 2022. It's a pleasure to have the possibility of showcasing the Spirit and the Mouse game by the studio Alblune. And with us, we have Alex and Lucie to talk about the development of the game. Alex and Lucie, how are you?
Hey, we're doing good.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you for having us on this stream. We're very happy to be able to show the game.
yeah we're excited to show the game. Yeah, it's really great.
Is this your first adventure in game development?
Well, we've been both working in the industry for like about 10 years in different companies and various sizes. And only 2 years ago, we started making our own game. So it's a
Yeah,
bit of an adventure.
and yeah, I guess thanks to like all the experience we got in like AAA and like mobile games and stuff. Like this is what allowed us to make our indie game, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Mm.
How did you manage I'm not obviously don't want to go into your personal finances and such, but how did you manage emotionally the risk taking of exiting the AAA market,
Mhm.
be it the mobile or even
Yeah.
the console PC, and building your own studio?
Well, it's a bit different for us because like I was the only one full time on the game, and Alex was actually kept his job.
Yeah,
And
like we did it on like I was working still on my day job, so it was
Hmm.
like mostly a part-time thing, and then I switched to like thanks to my company, like which was really nice. I managed to switch to like a 4 days a week job at work, so I still have like more time. But we did everything so like the game could still be done in like the limited amount of time we have. That's why we really limited like the scope and everything. So like we wanted to keep the financial stability of the day job and still be able to make our indie game, and
Yeah.
we work for that.
Uh, by the way, I just noticed a typo on my name, but let's carry on.
there's a
uh,
typo in mine
it's
too.
just
No, it's
is
okay.
Alblune the studio composed by the two of you, or are you? Is there more people
Yes.
helping you? So
On
all
the
we're going
yeah.
to see about the Spirit and the Mouse, it's your creation.
Yes,
Mm.
basically. So we
Thank you.
like the two of us. We did like I guess 99% of what 90% of what we you see on screen. We had like a composer helping us for the music, of course, Gisula, which did an amazing job, and then we also had some help with like some sound,
Hmm.
and of course we had our publisher, which helped us out on like QA, some marketing stuff, localization, etc. But like
Mm.
the meat of the game, like visual programming,
Scripting,
design,
design.
like all the rest, it's
I
us.
hope I'm not disclosing anything too private, but we were talking off the record before we started the streaming session. You were telling me that you actually came from Paris and you moved to Canada. Uh,
Yes.
uh,
Hmm.
how were you received by the Canadian dev community? Because it's a pretty experienced and pretty solid game community.
Well, we're very well received. Like
Mhm.
the game they've seen here is very diverse. There are lots of people coming from other countries and moving there to work in all the different companies because we have so many game dev companies here in Montreal.
And the
So
indie scene in Montreal is like pretty big, so
yeah, as well.
it's like a very yeah. The indie scene is strong, and like you said, there are like lots of people coming from like all over the world, in
Mhm.
especially in Montreal. So it's really nice to be able to meet all those people, and
Mm.
it's really good.
Have you felt even in the if you take into account the indie dev layer of your Canadian market, do you feel there's a good connection between different studios, different devs, that they share some knowledge, some informations regarding, for example, publishers and all that things, all those things?
Yeah, I guess I guess since we living here, like you start to like know other indie devs, speaking mainly about indies. So I guess yeah, you can start like if you have some question about publisher, like how to approach a publishing deal, you can always like find someone and like talk to them. But I mean, what's great also today is like even if you live here, like you're not limited to people in Montreal. You can just talk to like anyone on the internet. So, but so I would say like you know it really helps, but like it's mainly like just having a presence like online that helped us like you know, manage to find like publisher contracts and discussing with people.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess what's really cool here is like since there are a lot of like small indie events and stuff like this, we have some opportunity to do some playtests and like meet some players, which on that side is like it's really helpful.
before going to dive into the game, Bruno is asking an interesting question, because I know there is some support and even some financial support from the Canadian government, at least for big companies. Do you also have access to lines of funding or even financial support from the Canadian government?
We didn't apply for those, but we knew they existed. We just didn't want to dive into that because it's very heavy on paperwork, and you got to send them bills and communicate with them during the whole development time. So it wasn't
Yeah.
something we wanted to commit to.
Maybe for next game, but yeah, for this game we didn't apply for it.
And since you're only
Because we
two,
also
you would
like,
be
yeah.
stealing from the actual development time to focus on that.
Yeah, because it was also like, we were like mainly like learning all of the indie stuff. We never did like publishing, localization, all this stuff, like setting up our companies. Like it was like another layer on top of this, and we were like, let's focus on making the game, especially since we have the financial stability of the day job. We didn't want, have to rely that much on it. But yeah, for sure in the future we might look into stuff like this.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is let's dive into The Spirit and the Mouse. And let's check this amazing game that's Studio Alblune are developing. Do you already have an idea? What is your objective in terms of release date? Yes, actually, they are developing the games by themselves. These are the two creators of. Sorry, Alex, for interrupting.
It's okay. I mean, the game is released almost a month, day for day. Like we released what was the release date? I forget. 26th of September 26th. Like we released.
Let me
on
apologize
PC and
because
Switch.
of the more than 500 submissions. I completely lost.
It's okay, no problem. No issues. So yeah, the game has been out for like a month now, and you can find it on PC, like a lot of all the PC platforms and on Switch. Been good. Yeah, critically in community has been really good. Like a lot of
the players who played it loved it. They made us know. We had lots of rodent fans, rat owner, mice owners that were super happy to be able to play a mouse in a game.
Yes.
That was very warming to read.
You almost, by a month, I believe, or at least 3 weeks, you missed the opportunity of releasing more or less at the same time as Stray.
Yes, I mean, actually, it's pretty fun because we released after Stray, like so we had a lot of comments and people like wondering like,
is this Stray?
Yeah, it's like, is this related to Stray or whatever? It's like it's kind of like the anti-Stray game, It's like you play just a little mouse versus Stray. I mean, we played Stray, we loved it too, so it's like.
For me, it would be amazing for people that have no idea how long it takes to develop a game that would accuse you of watching the release of Stray, releasing and creating this game in 1 month.
Yeah, we had some of those comments. We were like,
really?
Expected. Yeah, of course, like people.
Not much, but I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, for us, like in the end, it was mostly positive because it's like since our game has some similarity with Stray, you play a small animal in a big city, so the game is quite different when you play it, but since there are some similarities, at least people had like a point of reference. So for us, it was nice. It's like, if you like Stray, I'm sure you will like this game.
Like Spirit and the Mouse, maybe.
Let me tell you, if it was a reality that you could actually develop this in a month with this quality, and my wife is now listening to the stream, I believe, but I guess I would take a second mortgage to try to buy your studio if you were able to do this with this quality.
I wish we could make a game like this in 2 months. That would be nice.
I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess for the game, like one thing to talk even more like the difference with Stray, and I think that's something we wanted to do from the start, is like we really wanted to make like a very chill and relaxing kind of game that's like for all age.
Because there is be played by anyone, like even people who have no past experience with gaming, they can pick up the game because the control are quite simple. You don't have many interaction you're able to do in the game. It's mostly running around, climbing stuff, and shooting stuff.
Yeah. It's like there is no violence. Like it was really important for us. Like, and I think in all the game we want to make in the future, like we want to try to make experience that do not rely on like violence or stuff. So yeah, I think we kind of succeed on this because like we had a lot of comments from players that like never played any games. They're like, oh, I finished it and like 100% it. Whoa, that's really nice. And like so that's we are happy with how the player the reception from the player.
Yeah, Patrice
And
is
it's a
saying
very
in the
narrative game.
in our chat, and I totally agree with her. We're used to having games focusing on dogs and cats, but somehow, and I'm a pretty rodent fan. I used to have
Oh yeah,
some
Ah.
gerbils,
nice. Oh,
but
gerbils.
they don't have
Oh,
enough
nice.
love, I believe, in hamsters.
Yeah,
So having a
this is
game, a
why we made the
relaxing game
game.
about a mouse is a pretty good thing.
I mean, we love gerbils. We have like
we have
4
4 of
gerbil.
them actually, and
Really?
one of the cages just behind me.
Oh,
Maybe if you wake up, so we'll show it on stream.
yeah.
Like we could have, named the game the Spirit and the Gerbil, but it's too niche, Like
Yeah.
let's go with a mouse.
Well,
Spirit and the
ironically, you
Itchio.
have a pretty before Mario, the strongest and most powerful and popular character in the world was actually a mouse,
It's
Mickey,
Mickey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Ratatouille too. So
Yes. Actually,
The
like
most important button.
a fun fact is like
Press
while
Y to
releasing
play.
the game, it's like we have a mouse with electric powers, but this ended up because of the story and a lot of things. So a lot of people were like, "Oh,
This is
this is
Pikachu.
Pikachu," and we're like, "Pikachu is not a mouse, It's like everyone thinks Pikachu is a mouse, but it's not a mouse actually.
I think everybody thinks
close.
that Pikachu is a mouse until they find a rat in their home and they start screaming and jumping on top of tables and chairs.
Exactly. But I guess some people like summarize our game like a mix of Pikachu and Ratatouille, which is I guess like quite accurate because you just like Ratatouille, you going around in this city, like you interact with like human and try to help people, and yeah.
Are you both reading the chat or no? No, because
sure.
Sessions, they already know I'm a big Celine Dion fan because it was the last thing I said before going online. Literally, just that. I made them laugh
It's the only
before we
thing we
started
know.
recording. It was a
This
good
and
joke.
the gerbils.
I can give you some help to the beginning because it's hard when you talk.
Actually,
If you have to go,
let's show you a little secret.
Yes.
If you go back to the Fontaine statue in the middle of the
yes
the road here.
Oh, it's a feature we added just before release, which
just in front of you there is a small mouse hole. You can go in there.
Oh yeah.
Just on the right.
Oh, nice.
And there you go. You got a small hat.
Actually, you have a bunch of them if you go inside. That's really fun. Yes.
Yeah.
And like you unlock more as you go. It's like a really tiny secret we put in the game, but like some players have been really enjoying it.
I like this one. It's classy.
Yes. If you want to continue the story, you have to go on the left. There are behind you.
Prize going up with the small table. Yeah.
No, go behind you.
It's just the big building with the.
Oh yeah. With the scaffolding.
You have to climb on like some kind of lattice, with where the lights are like blinking. This is where you need to go.
Yeah.
Squeak.
Go behind that pillar, and there is on the other side of the pillar you can climb it. It's okay. It's confusing at the beginning. Yeah, you see where the light is blinking, just behind you.
Yes.
Yeah, go there. Go behind that pillar, and you will be able to climb on the other side.
Oh, here it is.
Yes.
Here. There it is.
He doesn't have a hat. He has several hats. That's the best part.
And you unlock some of them when you go through the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you will meet little beings that have hats as well.
Yeah. And some are really dumb, I would say.
There's an achievement for having every single hat.
There is no achievement for that, unfortunately, because we added the thing so late in development. But we have like lots of other like fun achievements, like squeaking. If you squeak like more than X amount of time, you will get an achievement and other stuff. It's just on the left.
The hat in the right.
Like basically,
Exactly.
it's like at the beginning of the story, like maybe we missed it because we are speaking, but it's like you just go near like a human and something happens. Basically, there is a big gust of wind and like they had like a scarf outside that was like drying, and it gets like flow away because of the wind, and like the mouse want to help the human, so she's like, okay, I'm going to climb on the top of this like ominous lightning pole, and try to grab the scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be a great idea actually. She's trying very hard because she just want to help
Just
people.
want to be nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's fun
we
here
have
is like in all the cutscenes, you keep your hat, and that's
those magical hats
That's
that,
the-
like Indiana Jones's hat, like, never falls. Bruni is asking, what was the most challenging thing you felt during the development? Was it putting in real practice what we envisioned for the game, and this relaxing exploration game with the mouse as a protagonist?
You wanna
I
go?
would say the most challenging thing was the level design, because you're a small mouse in a
Mhm.
huge world, and you gotta keep the scale logical, but also you cannot let the player walk too many times because it's a bit boring. So like designing an environment for human, but you're super small and trying to find a way to make it fun, and also like letting you reach places you're not supposed to reach when you're a human, like kind of hard.
Mhm.
And
And also, yeah, really early on development, like we made a decision, like so you not be able to jump for like tons of
that
reasons,
as well.
and because we wanted to make the environment kind of a puzzle, it's like you need to like try and find where to climb, and yeah, and I guess for me, like the hardest part was really because you will see later in the game, like we have a bunch of like what we call mini games, like you play with like some spirit to add some like variation in the gameplay. And since we don't have like enemies, or you cannot die in the game, this was like the hard part, trying to find like keep the gameplay interesting while the story goes on.
My wife just pointed out, and I forgot that Celine Dion actually was in the soundtrack of Stuart Little.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I forgot
wow.
about that.
Thank you.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. Everything goes to Celine Dion, even, well, I don't know.
Even the spirit and the mouse.
It's Spirit in the Mouse.
She's in the game actually. No, I'm kidding.
She's one of the villagers. I'm joking.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
Where
go
is the
there.
Thunderstone for me to evolve to Raichu?
It's hidden, like it's very well hidden in the game. It's hidden behind like a copyright paper. So.
That would be an amazing Easter egg. Really. Funny copy.
I mean, we thought about some Easter eggs. Like, I
nothing.
think, yeah, one thing we wanted to add just for fun was like, what if we had like a little chef hat? But we're like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit
let's
risky.
not risk anything. So
Yeah.
keep it
But
simple.
no,
like-
more,
You never
more
know.
seriously, what was the train of thought between the mouse? I obviously don't want to go to the, well, sorry for the redundancy, for the obvious reason, Pikachu, but in what part of your conceptualization of the game you decided that your puzzle 3D game would have
Mhm.
this mouse to have electric abilities?
You want to
Well,
go?
yeah, we can share the explanation, but at first it was a personal project of Alex where you were just playing a spark of light and you were traveling through wires and basically just staying on walls and ground, and you had to act on other stuff that were like animals or humans to make them do stuff for you. But
So from the start, it was about electricity.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and at some point we're like, oh, it's maybe a bit boring to be stuck on walls and wires and stuff like that, so we're like, we should put this electric ability on something that can walk everywhere but is still very small.
Mhm.
And
Because from the beginning, it was like you use electricity and you're small to help people. And at some point, we're like, okay, but what kind of character can we do? And since we love rodents, we're like, you know what, let's go with the mouse.
let's go with the mouse.
Yeah. So and actually, like, yeah, to be honest, Ratatouille and Pikachu, like, they were never an inspiration for us. Like, we love those things, but like, like never once, we like thought about it.
It's like lots
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
coincidences
Yeah.
actually, because like the game is set in France, but it's mostly because we just love the mix of medieval architecture and modern stuff with
Yeah.
electricity, and you can see the mix of both in the game.
Also, a big part of the game is like a bit earlier, like you got a light bulb, like you can see one there. It's like this is a big component of the game. Like you can go around and like find all of those collectibles. This is like a part like player really like. It's very reminiscent of like I don't know N64 kind of game, like Banjo Kazooies and stuff like this. You just collect a bunch of stuff and you can exchange them against some. You cannot climb that. It's how.
No, Bruno is commenting on our chat, and I have to agree. Being a father myself, although my kids are already playing other stuff, he was thanking you because his daughter usually looks at him while he is playing, and he feels like this is the perfect game to play with her because it's not only a more accessible game but also a zero violence game.
Yes, and it's actually we had a lot of like people play with kids too, and we think it's really even the story is like it has like some humor. It's kind of
It's
simple.
like a fairy tale. We were inspired by actually a fairy tale called The Elves and the Shoemaker, if you know it.
It's like an old grim tale. This is something we forgot to mention. Like the whole story comes from like a fairy tale, and like the whole game is kind of built like a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's told like a fairy tale. Because you're just helping human without them knowing about you, and you expect nothing in return.
Yeah,
and that's kind of sweet from the little mouse.
You can fall and never get hurt. You just hear like squeaking a little, and like, you might feel bad about it. But you will never get hurt.
Sessions is also asking what's the current roadmap? Are you still more than 1 month after the release? Are you still finishing some stuff? Are you have an idea of adding some content? Or are you already thinking and pre-producing your next project?
I guess a bit of both. Like I guess we are slowly starting to work on another project, but for this game we kind of like how it's a content story, and like we'll see. Like unless there is an opportunity, we might not add like new story DLC or whatever. But we are still working on like patches, just to do some bug fixes and to go in the idea that the game is accessible for most of players. In the next patch, we're actually adding even more like accessibility stuff, like closed captioning, an auto run button. We also like some comments of people who really wanted to play the game but they have some motion sickness, so we're adding like an option like to help with the camera for that. So just adding like more accessibility option, fixing some bugs, and making the game as accessible as possible. That's like our main goal right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I asked you about Stray, I also wanted to ask you if, of course, the attention that Stray had, it's not usual for your average indie game. But did you, in this moment, you felt like you could, in a way, capitalize? Capitalize with Stray's success and eventually develop and release The Spirit and the Mouse to PlayStation?
Well,
I guess it depends, like because right now we are only on PC and Switch, and so we are not on like other platform, but we are always like considering others. But we did not really think it. I guess we are already, by the time Stray was out, like our roadmap was already done. We knew our
the game was done,
launch platforms and everything. So it's kind of hard. But I mean, because we don't know, we're still like considering other platform. But if we release one day on PlayStation, like maybe that could be cool, for people who play Stray to like you like Stray, you can try this game. But we'll see. Oh, I'm sure it helped a bit, like the whole Stray, because like you said, it was massive, like the.
It's mostly for me. It's because the quality was so good. It was looking like a AAA game, but with indies.
And cats are more popular than rodents. We have to give them credits, like we are the underdog.
Let me just say, really... rodent fans of the world unite.
Yes, exactly. That's our main target audience. Like we want people with rodents. Fans. Like I just want to, like it's fun actually when we are developing the game. When we, like I was doing the animation, and like every time I needed like a specific animation, I would just like look back at my gerbils, like waiting him to do something, and like okay,
Some people asked us if we recorded the gerbils for the mouse squeaks.
I was going to ask.
For-
Yeah, but their sound
We
is a
didn't.
little bit different. The gerbil sound is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Also, when they squeak, at least for the gerbils, it's when they want to tell you to stop doing something.
Yeah.
So like,
Like we put it for fun because I mean, of course, you need a squeak button, but it's like, you know, it's not necessarily like a sound that mouse will do a lot unless like they're kind of stressed. But
or maybe speaking to friends.
Yeah.
Friend mouse.
By the way, do you usually play? Do you walk around with your gerbils? Are they used to playing with you, or are they always
Yeah.
on their cage?
no, we are lucky. We have like very social gerbils, like especially one which is like I don't know. It's
He asked
yeah,
for
he asks
to be taken
which
out
is
of
not
the
normal
cage.
for a gerbil, but like he wants to be taken out. We take him out on the couch. He just walk around, which is not usual, but that's kind of fun. I hope like one will wake up so we can just show it on stream.
We will. They will be the. Hope they don't steal the show.
I mean,
At,
I'm sure
at
they
least among rodent fans, because this is already a pretty good moment.
It's a rodent approved stream.
Okay, 25. Yes.
It's like yeah, we have you will see like we have this whole layer of like kind of magic, magic on top of the story. We have like some electrical spirits and like weird like machines and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like this is like the fairy tale aspect of the game. It's like you are the mouse and you help people, but there is a whole layer of like spirits and people already in the work and you just join them basically and all work together. We have those little spirits that we will see just really soon called Kiblins that we really like, and they are basically really small electric spirits that are a bit dumb,
Like Lumina? Is like Lumina? Lumina.
I don't know Lumina.
Is it his name?
Yeah. It's the same
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
Okay.
Like Lumion is a higher being, and there are like part of him,
will see
but
that.
like
Oh.
smaller.
Nice.
And
With the
actually,
bird.
like in the lore, it's like the smaller they are, the dumber they get.
They can divide kinda to create new Kiblins.
Yes.
Just
So,
tell me.
basically in the
Just
story-
tell me you didn't go with the stereotype and you have one of them with a beret.
There is one with a. It's not
it's
a
a
beret. It's more like a
paperboy
yeah,
cap.
because he's like a postman, but no. It's like basically they're all dressed up according to what they do, because all of them they have like specific function in the city. Like they are always living there, but the human cannot see them,
Okay.
and like they take care of the electricity, the antenna, and like they all have jobs basically, kind of. But since they are kind of dumb, that they're not good at it.
Able to do their job properly.
And you as a mouse, and basically the big spirit we saw at the beginning, Lumion, like it's his job to like go around town and help the Kiblins. But since you were climbing the pole, like basically you just kind of stole his power a bit. So now it's your job. You have to go around and help those Kiblin, and so that way all together you work and you help the humans.
Okay. Like that poor man
And
that
they all
wanted
like
to watch TV and he can't because of the power outage.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's like, and that's something in the games. Like it's a lot of all the humans. They have like small problems, but it's something we wanted to do. Like it's all about like tiny day life problems.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's not that huge mystical quest. It's just something really relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a
And it's all
suggestion.
about, yeah.
I know you're
Yes.
starting your project, but Seychelles is telling that following up on your rodent love, why don't you do a game about capybaras? Because I think they are
That would be good.
the best of two worlds. They are rodents, but they are as big as dogs, aren't they?
That is
I think
true.
we were joking about this. Like it's like someone was telling us like same for guinea pigs. Like there is not a lot of games. Like but I feel capybara and guinea pigs they are like so slow and so like like chunky. Like what kind of game can you do with them? Because
A race game.
yeah, like a race game with a capybara, like super slow. That could be kind of fun. Or you just like you would ride on top of other animals like they do.
I think there is a game with capybara.
Oh yeah, actually, from Eloise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually
I
a
don't
game.
remember the name.
I forgot the name, but there is like a management game with capybara, which is kind of cute.
Oh, that capybara hotel, kind of.
Oh
Is it
yes,
a sauna?
yes,
Exactly.
this one.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, you want to explain?
Yeah, right now you gotta help the little key cable dude that asked you for help. It's just behind you. This is just to find the Kiblin to start the quest. But right now, they gave you a quest where you have to shock a small satellite antenna to be able to catch the signal back for the TV.
And it's like once you open the keybind, it's kind of a free form things. Like they are in the wild, you just have to find them now. It's like the exploration part, or you can do what you did and like pay some energy to like find them, and then they show on your map and you have everything. And then each of those keybinds they have like a unique mini game. Like the one you spoke before, it's all about like you have to rotate some antennas and everything. And
If you speak to them again, they will tell you what you need to do to help them.
Oh,
but that's a cool thing about the game that we think player enjoys. Like since it's a very like laid back kind of game, there is no time pressure. Like you can just play at your own rhythm. Like if you just want to explore for like 5 hours and then go back, like it's pretty fun actually because the players that play the game, like we have like playtime, to complete it. That's range from like I don't know 5 hours to like some people 20 hours to play the game because they were just like exploring very
Taking
slowly.
pictures,
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Like a fun part of the game is meeting all those new Kiblins because they all have like different personalities and like they all their own quirks.
what's the name of the composer? Because I feel the music is really relaxing. Of course, it fits perfectly well, but it's a really good soundtrack. Who
It's
composed?
Jisula. Jisula was the one making all
Sorry,
of the
can you
music
sorry
for
can you
our
repeat
game.
because I couldn't hear.
Oh, sorry, Jisula.
Yeah, Jisula. I mean, I guess it's really easy if you go on our Twitter page or we have our name everywhere, and you should go buy the soundtrack if you like it because it's really like one of the best parts of the game. Like we still listen to it even though the game is out and everything. And it's a lot of like piano and like very relaxing kind of melodies. And
We worked very closely with her from the beginning to be able to set the tone for the music in the game. And since we have lots of cinematics as well, we had to provide like lots of work. Basically, work very closely with her and doing some back and forth for the music.
Is
like
it
this
being sold
Kiblin
in
here,
your
like
Steam page?
it's not on
No.
the Steam, no. But it's like on Bandcamp, Spotify,
Oh.
and like all the usual stuff.
Oh, Spotify.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah,
Nice.
it's on Spotify too. Just like search the Spirit and the Mouse, and you should find it. I was going to say this Kiblin that you're helping right now, like he's called Kipost, and like he's like his job right now. Like he just said before in the dialogue, like he just came to the city really really recently, which is like 20 years, which is really recent for like
Kiblin.
Kiblin timeline. And he's like, because of the storm earlier, like there was a bunch of like mail that got thrown out of the mailbox, and he's just trying to help. So you just go around looking for like the mailboxes around town, and then it's like all the Kiblins have different mini games. Like this one is like kind of like really easy and classic, just go around and find stuff. Some are more like engaged. I don't know, you have to shock stuff, and some are more like
free roam.
Like we try to have a good variation of mini games, which was really important for us because since like we said, there are no enemies, no jump, platforming and everything. So we try to make them all like feel a bit different, and a lot of them actually are about exploration, which is like the main core of the game. Just you have to explore the town, which is like the fun part.
For example, I'm looking at that light bulb and I know I want it. I'm thinking, how can I reach it? So it's part of the challenge is that because did you add layers like stuff that people could actually finish the game without having to?
Yes, like all the light bulbs are completely optional.
Okay.
And actually, funny enough, like a lot of players, they 100% the game, so they find them all because I don't know. Once they get one, they want to get all of them.
We have a little store in game.
Gotta catch them all.
If you grab,
sorry.
Exactly.
If you grab enough light bulbs, you're gonna unlock a light bulb radar that helps you find the missing light bulbs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like everything, and you can buy hints as well. So like everything stays in the game. You can get help from the game.
It's like something that is really frustrating for us, in games like the old school like collectathon game. You have to find a lot of stuff. It's like you are missing one and you don't know which one. You're like, I need to go on the internet. And so in the game, like you said, the more light bulb you find, the more like upgrades you can buy. So some are upgrades like you can get your maps. or you can go faster and stuff like this. Some powers, and we also have like upgrades to buy. Like you can actually buy the location of them in the maps, and it's actually
Inspired by Mario Odyssey.
yeah, definitely. It's one of the like cool part of the game that people really enjoy. It's like just just chilling and going around looking for those like blue light bulbs, and you can do it at your own pace. Like,
Did you feel on your experience that people spend lots of time to try to shock every single possible item?
yes,
Yes. Some people start in this neighborhood and they're like, I gotta shock everything that is in there.
it's actually
And
something.
then I will play.
Something we added also, like still in the no violence kind of things. Like, what can you add to keep the game like interesting, and this little touch of just having to shock stuff and get something, like it just feels good for the brain. Just go around and you shock stuff. Like it's follow.
Okay, to keep balance. Okay.
Yeah, it's to help with some
Nice.
if people are not.
We have some like other like parts where you have to like walk on really thin like railing, and this really helps for this kind of stuff.
And these references, are they real?
This is for like
no, it's all made up.
Oh,
it's all made up.
It's just for a quest later.
Like even the town, like it's called Sainte-et-Claire, which is just a play. One play in French actually, but all the town is like completely fictive. We just inspired from like a bunch of like real medieval kind of looking village in France, but it's all made up.
You just made a Valmont Fontainebleau.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this a pun?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a vault, and ampoule means light bulb in French.
Mm-hmm. Which would be kind of weird, like
just a name.
Because like on the plate it says like he kind of founded the city in like I don't know the year 1222. I don't know how to say it in English.
Yeah, 1222. It was discovered.
Yeah, and like it would be weird to have like a guy in the medieval age called Lightbulb.
Yeah.
There is some kind of like we have some kind of like joke between us, like maybe this guy was sent from the Lyon or whatever, the spirit back in the days. Like we have some like fun laws like hidden in the game. So because basically in like for us, the idea is like the Kiblins that you're helping there, like even in our real world, like they are real, we just don't see them, and like at night they go and they like fix your stuff.
But you really want to collect everything before explaining, because I've came across 2 light bulbs, so you're there. Okay, I need to fall specifically in one of the places.
And you see, this is what we are saying about like you cannot jump in the game, but so for some people it's a bit weird at first, but I guess once you get into the flow of the game and you understand it's about like I need to follow the right place, I need to find how to climb, then everything becomes a puzzle, and this is like the kind of state of mind we wanted.
Oh, you have you have one here. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm going
Just
to pick up
look
that
around.
one first, and then I will move on to this. Okay.
Risky.
Yeah, risky.
No.
There is always like nothing in the game there is very rarely, maybe once or twice, like very precise platforming of having to fall somewhere, but usually there is always like a clear path to fall.
Yeah.
When it's about falling, I mean. Nice.
It was a good mechanical addition that you implemented this possibility of clinging to
the ledge.
Yeah.
Actually, this was thanks to like our publisher, like at the beginning production, like they gave us some feedback, and one feedback was like it was a bit frustrating to sometimes fall and having to climb everything back, and so yeah, there is a path to that one that is really close. It's pretty easy. You will see. You will find it.
I just said.
So yeah, that's like one of the big like part of the game that we really enjoy. Is like I think that's, to be honest, like looking at the game after the release, like that's the part I didn't expect that much player to love. Is like just going around and looking for all the secrets.
Hey, it's mine.
Nice.
Found it.
For you, it's nice because you're looking at the matrix. You know exactly where to go. And
it's like sometimes we watch a player, streamers playing, and it's like they're looking for one light bulb and they get crazy. Like, how do I access this? Like this one is really fun because like a lot of people are like, how do I get there? And it's part of the fun, it's like once you get it, you're like,
When you know, it's easy.
Yeah, so I believe this will be at a later moment when I turn on
Yes.
this light box, and then I will be able to fall on that ledge and come here, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There
You
is
can
another way. Like you could
you
get it
can
right
get
now,
it
but it's
before,
it's
yeah.
a long way.
Okay.
We won't spoil it.
Now, I was asking you. We know that the market is pretty saturated nowadays. Did you find it easier to find a good player base or even buyer base on Switch and on Steam? And what was the platform you felt you had the most commercial success?
Mhm.
If you allow me to ask,
I
of
mean,
course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we cannot go into details, but I would say, like you said, yeah, the market is really saturated, and I guess especially the time of year, like when we
Yeah,
release
when we released, there were so many good games already.
like it's always like a lot of indie games, but when we release like lots of good indie games, which is like it's kind of hard to like stick out, but I guess we still find like our audience, like, and we feel this kind of game. I mean, we hope. I don't want to it might sell like more in in long period of time, because it's just a story you can pick up at any time. It's not like a multiplayer thing with a user base. So we'll see, and we know we will keep marketing the game for as long as we we have the strength. So
And yeah, Switch maybe our
yeah, Switch
most
was good.
popular platform.
Switch was better than Steam, and I mean, so far, everything can change, but both platform has been quite good, and we are working on like can we try to port it on other platform or other languages and stuff like this.
We have to comment at one question and one comment. The first one is, it looks good to play on handheld, on Steam, on Switch, on this case. And there's someone asking if it's Steam Deck certified. It is.
Yes.
We
Okay.
just got it like last week, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
It plays great on Steam Deck. Yeah.
Yeah, we got reports of people saying it was amazing on Steam Deck.
I mean, we built this game as a like Switch game at first, so it's kind of perfect
It's
for
made
the
to
Switch.
run on handheld.
Yes.
But it looks like this kind of game where since you don't have the pressure of time or losing, you can do everything on your own pace. Then it's good for example, short bursts of play. Like you have like 5 minutes, you can pick up your console or your Steam Deck or even your PC if it's interesting for you, and just play a bit and advance in your game.
Yeah.
So.
And you can also just like some people do it to just play and like finish it in one go, just hardcore doing everything. Like, you can do that if you want to.
So, of course, you're not going into details because you must be already still defining what your future will be like. Is in your idea, or do you feel the necessity after the Spirit and the Mouse, or even the scope of your possible next project, to hire more people to work with both of you?
I don't think so, except it's if it's a freelancing for a very specific thing in the game or stuff we're not able to do, like music or SFX.
Like some audio stuff, but it's
we
like
want to keep it
we want to
very
keep it the two
small.
of us, like, because it just and we want to keep the scope of our game small because we will just be two. So we are still like trying to, like, we think maybe Spirit and the Mouse, like we will see for other games, but like we need to see what kind of game we make sense for the two of us to make. So we are still like searching, I guess.
Can I ask for us to see your gerbils before we go?
Yes, you know what?
I think this is the first time, and possibly the last time, I'm going to ask a game developer this, but I won't have another opportunity to do so.
You know what? There is one here.
And yeah, here we are, IndieX 2022. We are going to watch and see some cool gerbils live on our
They
streaming
are all
session.
sleeping, but one of them is waking up.
Oh,
he's here.
I just have to give him a treat, of course, but like.
Oh, so cute! And it's a white gerbil. Amazing, so good.
Hello. Look, you're on live.
Yeah, Sessions is saying that next year, when IndieX returns to the physical events, you have to bring your gerbils with you to Lisbon.
Oh my god, he's hitting live.
It's so it's
This
now
is
on the
amazing
internet.
content.
Okay, don't forget to download the VOD of this streaming session. Yeah, it's the main character. I think it's the first time we play with the main character and then we watch it eat in real life on streaming on our session. So amazing.
Well, thank you for asking.
He had a big Cheerios for his trouble, of course. Like he gave him a treat.
He's a star. What is his name?
Which one was it? Because they're both white.
Yeah,
So
this was a coton. We have like coton and cream. I think. Yes, crème, I guess. So it's like
I hope he doesn't understand English because he would be really offended that you can't identify him from the other Germans.
they look the same.
they're both white, like white fur all over, and the only way to tell is at the base of their tail. One of them has a bone poking on the left, and that's the only way.
He won't be
can know.
offended. He just got a huge treat, so it's like he's in heaven right now.
Alex, Lucie, I'm going to quote one of our friends in our chat. Thank you so much for being with us. Your game is really beautiful. It's an amazing exploration game, relaxing game. I think we still we have a market so big that we also need this kind of approach, this relaxing, this familiar, cozy kind of approach. And yeah, love for rodents. So let's support your game. It really deserves. And on my side and on IndieX's side, thank you for submitting The Spirit and the Mouse. We're really happy for having it part of our 50 finalists. So
Thank you so
thank you
much
for
for
taking the
having us
time to
there.
be with us, and thank your gerbils, because everyone, please don't forget the main star here is The Spirit and the Mouse. Although I know you won't forget this amazing and unforgettable moment of seeing the main character eating live on camera. Alex and
I
Lucie.
hope just someone joined the stream at just the moment the gerbil was here, like, what is happening? And
I know, right?
Maybe we'll ask you afterwards if you signed the GPRD to do this, because you're exploring his image.
it's a gerbil policy or whatever.
Then again, Alex and Lucie, thanks a lot for being with us. The best of luck for Alblune Studio and your next project. I hope we will, for certainly, we will know when it will happen and possibly have it here, your next game in the next few years. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck. And
thank you.
Everyone else, I will be back in 10 minutes with a new game, Concerto on White. So please stay tuned. It's just 10 minutes. We're going to prepare the next streaming session. See you in 10 minutes.